Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I have before you a news article written in 2002. Marcus aims for Senate. Candidate promises, fulfilled dreams, and answered prayers. And this has been a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, there's nothing white about his hair or his mustache. Also, here's an article about that young man and how he wants to serve you back in 2002. And I'd like to read this article for you. And this article goes something like this, ladies and gentlemen. It says, why this man must become the next U.S. Senator from the state of Minnesota. And this was in 2002. He says, I'm looking for some help to allow Minnesota and America to feel and receive the love that only people that are touched by the love of the Creator can give. Have you ever gone through a classy appliance store, a furniture store, a grocery store, a clothing store, an electronics store, an automobile dealership, a real estate office, a new beautiful school, an employment ad for a great job? Well, all of Minnesota, regardless of ethnicity, dreams of having the benefits of these stores offering. When people, good and bad, refuse to do the right thing, they as a group become as responsible and as guilty as the criminals that fill the jails and prisons. They become partners with the crime and violence of the streets, cities, and towns. We all agree that the Bible's presentation of Christ is about as wonderful as humans can receive in regards to the nature of God. Now is the time for us to put up. Now is the time for us to remove all doubt. Now is the time for us to manifest the faith we have talked about and heard about all our life. Now is the time to prove herewith the greatest expression of our love, that we are our brother's keeper. Now is the time to end all denominational divisions and close ranks under the banner of love, which is the truest expression of God, for God is love. We can close the mouths of all heavenly critics and skeptics. We can make null and void the cry of the atheist and put to rest the robust echo of separation between church and state. For God is the state, or his counterpart will trick you into fields and catacombs of Armageddon. No longer will they be able to say hypocrite. No longer will they be able to whisper, I told you so. Look at them, killing each other in battle and on the street, stealing and taking from one another, racist, prejudiced, and godless. The nation will marvel at such fortitude exhibited by the vote and action of the state, you, the people of Minnesota. The world will take stupendous note and crave to know such freedom, liberty, beauty, prosperity, and love born from the hearts of folk like you, who once and for all decided to do the right thing. Like Christ coming into the world amongst his own, and they received him not. I bring his message of life, flowing like rivers of refreshing water, needing only one thing to break back the dam that captures such life to the prisons of dreams. You are the key that will unlock the prisons of dreams. The power of this key, like a mighty avalanche, will draw from the power of others who are touched by the spirit of your determination to feed the hungry, to clothe the clothless, to house the homeless, to eradicate the ghettos, educate the masses, to provide health care for all, and put all to work in ideal jobs. When I see the future of this state and nation, I see it as it would be if Jesus ran the show. Jesus is not here, and no other knows what to do. Thus, I am confident when I say, I was born to lead this nation into untold prosperity. Senator is the next step in this quest. No other politician in the history of this country has ever held such compassion and brotherhood for all her citizens as I do. I am not just a man with a dream. I have a plan. I have lived under the mayorship of Norm Coleman and the senatorialship of Paul Wellstone. Neither has ever done anything for me, and what they have done for the city and state in comparison with my plans can be measured on a foot rule. Nonetheless, I cannot play the race card. It is a loser. I cannot play the economic card. It is a loser. However, if all who cries, Lord, Lord, is true, I cannot lose. I will not be on the ballot. You will have to write Eddie Marcus in the blank space as your choice. Ladies and gentlemen, that was in 2002. And those of you who have listened to anything I've had to say currently, you know I've said nothing different today. So what I have said is concrete in my heart and in my mind. It is all about you. When I watch some of your presentations on your YouTube and Facebook, I look at you, my brothers and sisters. You appear to be kind. Your faces are filled with compassion and love. Sometimes you speak about different odds, and sometimes it gets a little heated. But none of this represents the kinds of things that I'm speaking about, and yet the things that I speak about are the same things that you ponder in your own hearts. I know this for a fact, and as I have articulated it here, you do as well. Now, in your mind, some of the things that I speak about, you would suggest that it would come another way. But I would say to you that the other way would only cause problems for some other side. And the right way, which is not my way or your way, it is the divine's way. That is the way that I hold before you. That is the way that I offer to you. Now, many times, if you go back over the videos that I have produced, you have heard me call you names. As my brothers and sisters, I've called you ignorant. I've called you stark naked fools. I've called you explicit. I've cursed you out. I have really done these things. Not because I hate you, not because I'm against you, but because I love you. And speaking kind to people who just can't recognize the truth is not always the best way to go. It's like telling a child who is no good, who's always doing all kinds of stuff, to cause and offend others, that they are special people. Sometimes you have to tell them the truth so that they can understand that there's a difference between one act as opposed to another act. And so I've said these things to you. I have called you names, and I do not apologize for it. I have said it because peace and prosperity and joy, not just in your life, is important, but it is important in the life of everybody. Those who don't have insurance, those who don't have health care, those who are living in the ghettos, those cities that are falling apart, where the cities are being destroyed because there's no infrastructure building taking place. I say these things to you because we have the potential. We have what it takes to make our city, to make our state, to make our country truly great. Not like it was before, but like it has never been. And I promise you by the Spirit of love itself, that having achieved these things, we don't have to go out and threaten other nations with building more bombs. We don't have to build up a military that is greater and more fearful than any military we can imagine. It is the love that we can generate here within this nation that make all of the world look at and make all of the world want. Not to come and attack us with bombs and bayonets, but to come with open hearts and minds and say, how did you do it? To ask a question that we will gladly answer. that they will be able to feel the freedom, to feel the peace, to feel the prosperity that the power of love and God Almighty have been able to experience through us as we showed our love one unto the other. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you once again, is there a candidate that's running for senator, or one that the state wants to replace, that has ever articulated or shared any interest to this degree? Now, I realize going into the Senate will give me all of the opposition that you can imagine. No greater opposition than what I have received from you. But if I can get you to see exactly the beauty of this dream and this plan, I can get them. And getting them, I can get the nation. And having the nation, our victory is won. Thank you.